How y'all doing, guys? This is Wednesday, June 29th, 2022 AD. Hake has been out for, how many days? Since I took off Monday, I took off Tuesday, I didn't come to church on Sunday, and so I've had more days off than I've had show days. What in the world? It's 9:01 a.m. U.S. Pacific Daylight Time. Hake still on CP work ethic? Indeed. Oh, man. What a mess. We're going to have a fun loosey-goosey, I think, Wednesday show. There was no Hake Monday or Tuesday. I was out sick. I'm recovering, guys. I'll tell you a little bit about it. But I do want to get to some fun stuff. I have some clips to show you. I've been looking a little bit more at TKR Official on Telegram. It's one of my favorite news sources. Some serious stuff going on with possible food shortages. I guess it's not even possible food shortages, actual food shortages linked to the out-of-control gas prices. Thanks, Obama, which is to say Biden-Harris. Some Roe reaction from cackling Kamala Harris. I will be getting to your calls, guys. Some of you already on hold. And what else? More overreaction from Roe. This infuriating Juneteenth story. I know it's old news, but I saw it in the Telegram over there. And, man, I saw another infuriating story about this old Nazi who got sentenced. He's like 101 years old. Not like 101. He is 101 years old, and he was sentenced. Talk about January 6th overreaction fake committee on steroids, right? They will never let it go. They've become what they hate. And some China virus hype assuaging from the doctor himself, Dr. Fauci. So all that and your calls. But anyway, guys, let's get right on with the show. Indeed. Oh my gosh. It froze? Oh no. We just had it, guys. Hold on.
I can't play the song. Why can't I play the song?
Shall I play this? Shall I sing the song, guys?
How do I play it? I have it here. I'm pressing play and it goes away.
Huh. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, it's the Hake Report. The Hake Report. La la la.
It won't let me play it. I don't know what to do.
Huh. Nick over here freaking out. We have Nicolas, the anchor baby. Guys, man, this feels like my show feels dead. Dead. Can you guys hear me at least? Press 1 if you can hear me. Dead. But press 1 if you can hear me.
Okay, I got you now.
Okay, here we go, maybe.
I'm going to play it off YouTube.
I'll believe it when I hear it.
I'm going to play it off YouTube.
Oh, he's playing. Oh, man. Quick thinking, Nicolas.
Oh, no, it's the original.
We don't have Chris here. Oh, you can play the original. We didn't play the original on Friday. So, here's the original, guys, maybe.
Okay, here's the original right now.
Here it is.
It's the Hake Report, the Hake Report, la la la. Oh, it's the Hake Report, the Hake Report, la la la.
Hey guys, we're gonna be talking about some loosey-goosey stuff. Oh, I'm lightheaded from that. You can call in 888-775-3773. Hope you enjoy this fun show. Hopefully it'll make up for the last 2 days of me being out.
Oh, it's the Hake Report, the Hake Report, la la la. Oh, it's the Hake Report, the Hake Report, la la la.
So, how you guys doing? I am fine. And no, your stream is not behind. You're barely hearing the music because I was We had some hiccups, technical difficulties, complicated business, folks. Complicated business. That's a reference to Trump. I am wearing just a nice T-shirt that I got from, like, REI. Sorry, I'm not a communist, but I have shopped there before. It says, United by Blue, whatever. But it's like a greenish, yellowish T-shirt with blue on it. Nice, huh? You cannot get it. It's not from the Hake Report Teespring store. Feels like Monday, says Matt living the dream. Indeed. We need some AC in here, too, by the way. Oh, man. Okay, you want to hear where I was? Do you want to hear where I was? All right, so, yeah, I'll tell you in a sec. I'll tell you very briefly. So I got sick on Friday. And, but I powered through. And then Saturday, oof. Sunday, oof. I skipped church even. Monday, oof. I got up and then I'm like, no. And then Tuesday, I got up and did the news, but because I was sick, I went outside and got some sun, but apparently got sun poisoning. I know Tony from California is going to get a huge kick out of this. Sun poisoning. At least if the internet is to be believed. That means I got so much sun that I don't want to show it to you. But basically it turned like into hives, turns like itchy. I don't know if I have any on my presentable parts. But anyway, yeah. So I got sickness on top of sickness. And it was unbelievably, Chris is out today. He's out today. It was unbelievably itchy. I couldn't believe it. That's what unbelievable means, right? You need to stop drinking that tap water, Hake. You get sick too often. I know. I don't know. Maybe I was a formula baby and didn't know it. Terrible. And you can still kind of hear my head congestion. At least I feel like I can. I will be getting to your calls, guys. You know what? Let me get right to one of the calls. Here, go ahead, show it, says Dave Singleton. Oh, don't tempt me. I will. But I don't know. I'll show you the inside of my mouth. I won't show you my belly. I don't think. Art from Ohio is on the line, though, guys. Art, thank you for calling and holding. How you doing?
Man, how you doing, Hake?
Doing well. I appreciate it. Thank you.
Man, you had me worried about you, man.
I understand. Do not worry, though.
I was over here sweating bullets, man.
Yeah.
I was over here. So, first things first, man. What the TRUCK is going on with Lori Lightfoot up in Chicago?
Oh, she's a mess, huh? I feel like I saw some clip, maybe on the Jesse Lee Peterson show, of her acting out. Oh, yeah, she said F Clarence Thomas, huh? As in forget, she didn't say forget. She said a cuss word, right?
She said TRUCK Clarence Thompson.
Wow.
Yes, she
ridiculous.
Sure did. So check this out. My thing is this. Lori Lightfoot, allegedly, Lori Lightfoot is on that new stuff. I think it's like a 5-hitter quitter or something. She on that crack, heroin, meth, fentanyl, oxycontin. That's why she looked like that.
Wow. That's speculation, right? You're speculating, right?
Yeah, I'm speculating that because you can't never trust too much that Pelosi said or whatnot. I got her over here making sandwiches right now. She can't seem to count. I said I want 10 sandwiches.
Yeah.
Because I wanted her to make one for you. She bring me 8.
Man.
Yeah, I expected though. You can't. I mean, that's what you expect out of the Democrats, man. They ain't got no dang on brains, man.
Yeah.
We're gonna be patient with this this little witch over here. Don't tell I said that though.
Okay.
But yeah, she don't cuss Clarence Thompson. Lori Lightfoot, sweetie. You don't know we don't mess with you, honey. I don't know what they see what. I'm gonna have to break it down to Lori. Okay, I'm gonna go back to when we was kids or whatnot. We feel bad for certain kids, so we let you tag along, man. we let you be around us because we feel bad because you a square pants, Lori Lightfoot. You see what I'm saying? So what's so happening is you don't got a little bit ahead of yourself, or RDR from Ohio got to line you up. No, we mess with Clarence Thomas or whatnot, ma'am. Not ma'am, you little witch. And we don't mess with you. Why would we trade somebody who is a logical thinker for somebody that's an illogical thinker? He's married to a white woman. He's married to a woman, period. And as long as he's happy with that woman and they doing what they supposed to do under the commandments of God, then he's cool and fine with me. But you, on the other hand, you a whole mess over there. You a whole big circle of mess. And you want to be talking about some F. No, what you need to be doing is TRUCK and your parents or whoever raised you, because whoever raised you, Lori Lighthead, they messed up on you, sweetie. Yeah, definitely did. So, put some respect on Clarence Thomas' name or whatnot. Yeah. And even them other Supreme Court judges or whatnot, even if they are liberal. You see what I'm saying? Because they are constitutional judges and they are American. You see what I'm saying? Quit being so messy. You Democrats, man, it's really like 5, 6 of the main 6 of y'all stand out, man. Y'all just run your mouth too much, man. Learn respect, man.
Yeah.
But God bless you, right?
Well, thank you, Art.
I'll you in a little bit.
Sounds good, man.
I'll talk to you later.
All right.
Yes, sir.
Take care.
Yep.
Yeah. You know what? I'm going to get to the abortion thing. In fact, let me jump ahead to that right now. Let me go to clip 12, Nicolas. Another nasty woman, evil woman, such a nasty woman, as Trump called sick Hillary Clinton. This is a clip shared by Benny Johnson, who's the TPUSA meme maker guy. He's a nice guy sometimes. He shared this video from Greg Price, who's a journalist, I think, cackling Kamala Harris's cringy answer. She went on to some mainstream news. I forget if it was CBS or NBC or what, ABC, who knows? One of those far left enemies of America, anti-American American networks. After Roe v. Wade was struck down, and so was Casey versus Planned Parenthood. Planned Parenthood versus Casey. My mother was a woman. My grandmother was a woman. It's a minute and a half of cackling Kamala Harris, pretending to be smart and decent. Here's evil, fake vice president, a phony woman. Here she is.
And I couldn't believe it. I couldn't believe it because they actually did it. And here's what they did. The court actually took a constitutional right that has been recognized for half a century and took it from the women of America. That's shocking when you think about it, in terms of what that means, in terms of democratic principles, in terms of the ideals upon which we were founded about liberty, about freedom.
Baby killing.
I thought about it as, a parent. We have 2 children who are in their 20s, a son and a daughter. I thought about it as a godparent of teenagers. I thought of it as an aunt of preschool children.
And a woman yourself.
And a woman myself. And the daughter of a woman.
What a silly woman. Such a silly woman, huh? She has no children herself. I wonder if she's gotten abortions or something. I don't want to speculate because I don't know. But what a sick person. She's talking about baby killing and she's pretending that's democratic principles. Ooh, you can't tell a woman what to do with her body. Yes, you can. And it's not hers. And the baby is not hers to kill. But, the evil Biden administration, she's part of the Sleepy Joe Biden administration, right? After she called Sleepy Joe racist or something like that. Oh, I was that 3-year-old little girl or whatever she pretended like she was, affected by the busing, right? Forced busing. She's from Berkeley or something like that. And she called Sleepy Joe racist, and then he picked her like a simp for his vice president, so-called vice president. You know who else was picked by Sleepy Joe, allegedly, or whoever his handlers are? Xavier or Javier Becerra. I knew some Becerras. Back when I was in, 7th and 8th grade. Probably in high school, too. I just don't remember offhand. He's from, this sleaze bag is a male. A female-minded, liberal male. A Democrat. A male Democrat. How embarrassing. A Latino from California, Secretary of so-called Health and Human Services. He said, quote, "There is no magic bullet, but if there is something we can do, we will find it and we will do it." That's according to Morning Brew. He said that. And he outlined several steps the sleepy Joe Biden administration will take following the overturning of Roe v. Wade, such as increasing access, communist buzzword, to abortion pills. Medication abortion, they call it. To kill the babies, right? By way of pills. But also acknowledged his hands were mostly tied. The black on the inside, White House, dark, evil on the inside. Only white on the outside, like a whitewashed tomb, is what the White House is right now. As Jesus said of the Pharisees, the teachers of the law, the scribes maybe, he referred to the establishment, phony religious people, as whitewashed tombs, but inside they're just full of death and stinkiness. They stink. I feel like that's not a strong enough word. I feel like you're supposed to be like, I'm not going to cuss or anything, but I wish I had a better vocabulary that I could express how evil and disgusting these people are, right? But it's okay. That's all right. The demon rats, progressive demon rats, so-called progressive, right? The full-blown communists are criticizing their fellow communists in the black on the inside, death-filled White House. Joe Biden looks kind of like death, although he's sort of fit looking at times. But anyway, for not doing more for so-called reproductive rights. If they cared about reproductive rights, they would be for men's rights to veto the killing of the babies. Because very often, men are not for the killing of their babies by these females, these selfish females who don't want to go through with having the baby that they are responsible partly for having made, right? Takes two to tango, plus God to put it in them, right? He set the wheels in motion, I say. This is after the based Supreme Court decision. And, evil Cortez was like, oh, we need to impeach the MFers. No, she didn't say that. Well, she probably might have. But I'm quoting somebody else, Rashida Tlaib, the Muslim Mexican chola from, well, I call her Mexican chola, but she's Palestinian. What's the difference, really? She acts the same. Just as an evil ghetto person cussing in front of her kids in a bar, talking about impeaching Trump and calling him MFer. Anyway, Cortez is like, we need to impeach these Supreme Court justices. They lied to us. They deceived us. Because, Trump's Supreme Court justices all said when asked about Roe v. Wade, they respect precedent. But they had not heard the argument, the based arguments. And anyway, these people are political. They talk about not politicizing the court. They corrected the politicization of the court, honestly. They corrected it. The demon rats, I call them, are pretending, oh, the court is now the court is being politicized. Now it is. I covered that evil woman. I say evil a lot, but she really is. Sonia Sotomayor, I covered her last week. Obama's Latina so-called justice who said, oh, the stench. Oh, that's a good word, stench. How is the Supreme Court going to survive this stench of this, politicization by way of caving to political pressure? That's all you ever do, evil fake justices, including many of the rhinos who voted correctly in this case. You just cave to pressure. You kissed up to imaginary same-sex marriage, some of you. and all kinds of stuff. So, yeah. Okay? Ridiculous. What a mess. Terrible. Cortez. And I told you during Hake News at the end of hour 1 of the Jesse Lee Peterson show, a Texas so-called judge temporarily blocked the state's law from 1925 banning all abortions following a lawsuit from pro so-called abortion rights groups. There's no such thing as abortion rights. Now allowed up to 6 weeks of pregnancy, which is before most of them can know that they're pregnant. Nice. And I told you about retailers. I forget whether this was hour 1 or 2 of Hake News on the Jesse Lee Peterson show, the end of those hours. Amazon, CVS, Rite Aid have placed limits on so-called emergency contraceptives. And I know, shout out to the Facebook crew. Are you guys there? Yes, you are. Shout out to the Facebook crew. But I've said that the morning after pill, Plan B, is an abortion pill. Am I wrong about that? Some people say, oh yeah, you are wrong because it just prevents conception. Because apparently like there's a difference between an egg being fertilized and a child being conceived. So like the egg is fertilized, but the child's not conceived yet. So it's not an abortion pill they're thinking. Ashley over there in the Facebook crew says, you are wrong. Plan B, morning after. Either way, I think that Plan B is playing God. I don't know if it's killing a life or preventing a life from starting. It does not kill an existing pregnancy, says Ashley Galloway. I don't know, but you know these women, and I almost said you women, Ashley, but I don't want to lump you in with this. But, although I'm tempted to. You know how you women are. You women and female-minded males like to call it, no, I've never had to use it. Of course, nobody's ever had to use it. But no, she's never used it. Nice. Well, I wasn't accusing you of that. I wouldn't think that. But anyway, I'm looking at the live chat here. To me, like, these people like to try to, if you can't define exactly where the line is, then you just erase the line. You know? How, like, they talk about gender and all of these, they try to blur the lines, right? Make you think like you don't know what you're talking about, feel like you don't know exactly what you're talking about, which nobody really does, but they're pretending like this will justify expanding it like crazy. When in reality, they are for outright evil. They are. Butch says you have to take Plan B before you get pregnant. Whatever the morning after one is, I don't know. I mean, I'm not even for, honestly, I'm not even for being on that so-called birth control. Especially considering that we have a declining population, you know? It's not good. We need to be making more, especially white babies, but you're only increasing the selfishness of the women who don't want to be responsible for the way they live. It really is. It is like that. There was this news that Facebook and Instagram scrubbed their abortion pill posts after the Supreme Court's decision on Friday to overturn Roe v. Wade. Mentions of abortion pills on social media platforms, of course, spiked. Facebook and Instagram, reports show, have been removing some of those posts minutes after they're published. Sounds like it's an algorithm going on. Reporters, so-called reporters at Far Left Enemies of America Vice and Far Left Enemies of America AP, Associated Press, posted about mailing abortion pills on Facebook since the ruling. And sure enough, those posts were removed. Nice. Nice. Yes, censor the anti-American establishment media, anti-American establishment social media. Because Facebook and Instagram are enemies of America too, right? In AP's case, the account was given a warning for violating company policy on guns, animals, and other regulated goods. When the reporter swapped out the words abortion pills for a gun or weed, Facebook did not touch those posts. Oh, shut up. Shut up, AP. This is from Morning Brew, by the way. Far left Morning Brew. In response, Meta, that's Facebook, spokesman Andy Stone tweeted that the company does not allow content that attempts to buy, sell, trade, gift, request, or donate pharmaceuticals, but acknowledged it found some instances of incorrect enforcement. Abortion pills account for more than half of abortions. Wow. Are considered to be the next front in the legal battle over abortion access. The evil DOJ, Department of So-Called Justice, which it's not. It's not about justice. Said that the pills cannot be banned because they are an FDA-approved treatment. Wow, evil. So, well, get rid of the FDA. They're overstepping their bounds. Food and Drug Administration. But several GOP-led states have already moved to block residents from obtaining them by way of mail. Yeah, because we don't want murder going on, murder by pills. Selfishness, killing the babies by way of pills. Ridiculous. Amazon and others began limiting purchases of emergency contraceptive pills, such as Plan B, supposedly, after a sharp increase in sales because they have to ration them. They have to ration. Javier Becerra called the Roe v. Wade decision despicable. You're despicable, Javier or Xavier Becerra. Becerra. Right? Aren't you despicable? You're the one who's despicable. Almost made me cuss. He said it would unconscionably put at risk the life and health of millions of our fellow Americans. You mean the babies that you're not allowed to kill? Idiot. Sorry, kids. Well, I'm not sorry because I said it twice. So clearly I'm not sorry, but I don't want you repeating that against your parents' will. Nicolas says, if it's not a life, why is a woman so sad about a miscarriage? Or why is it called a double murder when a pregnant woman is murdered and her baby is not saved? It's called a double murder because we already know that it's baby killing. Everybody knows it. But they want to say, oh, a woman is 14 times more at risk to get How do you mistake Javier and Xavier? I think Xavier is pronounced Javier in Spanish. Somebody correct me if I'm wrong. By the way, my being out yesterday had nothing to do with my beta back. Although, if I don't start walking and stretching again, it's going to start tightening up, and that's not a good thing. So anyway, Hake is like 2 days late. What the? I know. Ridiculous. Anyway, I'm going to get to more clips, guys. I do want to get to clip 11, the coveted clip 11 title, right? I have lots of headlines, too, to show, by the way. But first, let me get to Bobby in Texas, Tejas. Bobby, how are you doing, man?
I'm doing pretty well, James. How you doing, bud?
Doing well as well. Thank you.
Good to see you back in action, back in the throne there.
Yeah, back in the saddle. Don't call it the throne. But anyway, yeah. Go ahead.
Yeah. So I've got a couple of little quick topics I wanted to bounce off of you. I don't know if you're familiar with like the situation that's going on there in Nevada and the Lake Meade.
Nevada.
Nevada.
Right. Yeah. Yeah, I have seen, and you know what? I've been to the Colorado River, not far from Lake Meade. I do recommend it, guys, but not during these hot months. It's called Willow Beach, Arizona. Check it out. But anyway, it's fun to go like fishing or rent a boat if you can or whatever. Maybe even swim a
I
little.
don't know. I don't know if it really fits that anymore. I think it's kind of like from what I'm picking up.
Water is
from,
low,
some of the, yeah, they're at 70% of their, or 30% full. I guess whichever way you look at it. Optimistic.
So it's 30%
pessimistic.
down?
No, 30% full, 70% down.
Whoa! That is
And
low.
They're losing water right now so rapidly that it's like they're not even allowed to discuss it. Like the people who like are in charge of they're not even allowed to publicly comment on it. The most candid remark was that water had been like leaving the reservoir for years, but nothing like what they're experiencing at this point, where they're saying the water is just pouring out. Like people will show up in the morning to drop their boat, and then by the end of the day, they can't get their boat back out. Like it's coming down like that fast.
Wow.
That's basically where all of Las Vegas receives their water from, is through that Lake Meade and Hoover Dam area.
Man, what a shame. And you know what? I suspect that, we have dry periods like droughts, and it's quite common, at least here in California, and I'm sure much of the Southwest, which is what that area is, part of the Southwest, right? But I feel like we could have had better water management, build up more reservoirs and stuff like that. Am I wrong about that?
I mean, I don't really know. I'm sure that they definitely should have probably thought better. Like Las Vegas is kind of they call it what, an oasis. Like there was no like
they call it
there. Like
they brought water and irrigation and stuff right over there. Like it's a desert. It's literally a desert. Right. It's like it feels like an oven when you're there sometimes.
It's almost kind of ambitious planning for them to believe that it was possible. And then when you think of taking like the growth of the city of Las Vegas over the last, couple of decades.
Yeah, true.
Like it's one of the fastest growing cities in the U.S. So
right.
And you've got all those casinos that use water. I would assume by this point they've probably got a lot of recycling of water there. Like probably like a big part of how they do it. But watering grass and anything like golf courses, which they have thousands of probably, like they're, those require water. So
the use
and the amount of people is probably pretty bad.
Taking Care of Business says that it's not even Las Vegas that's making Lake Meade drop. California, he says, takes the most water from Lake Meade, followed by Arizona, which I believe Southern California takes a lot of water from NorCal and also from Arizona and maybe elsewhere too. Nevada, Arizona.
Okay. Yeah.
Lake Meade is on the... but you're right. I mean,
I only thought it was Vegas was the only culprit. But
no, Lake Meade.
Also,
Lake Meade is huge for multiple different states. I have heard before.
Yeah, it's not a big issue for me. I just had seen some articles and I was like, that's pretty interesting. I think I'll run that up the Hake flagpole, see what he's heard anything.
I've reported before, California in particular, we have not built up any new major reservoirs in over 40 years, I hear. 40. Wow. And that's according to the far left Associated Press, if I remember correctly. Because I read this article recently and I presented it on my show. And we've had funding. The voters approved a funding bill for building up reservoirs since 2014 or 2013. So for 8 years or so, we haven't done anything because of, I think it's because of, actually I read it. It was in this AP article, I think. It was because of the environmentalist policies, which environmentalism is not about actually protecting the environment.
Yeah, because you would think it would be the opposite. Like you would think those would be the people finding the most advantageous to add reservoirs and, figure out ways to conserve and improve the water situation.
Yeah. Yep.
But I know California, for years has always had issues. And I know Vegas, just is not a great logistical idea for water,
Right.
just based on that it's where it's located. But I think it's pretty. I don't know what they'll do. You know, I know a lot of the pumps that pump the water out are exposed now. They're all like, the water line has actually gone below those pumping stations.
Yeah.
So I think it's pretty dire. I don't know how they'll recover, how they'll fix it, and if they even are like have a plan in place to, you know, to repair and refill those reservoirs.
Yeah.
Where it would even come from. But I thought that was interesting. I thought I'd just give you something to kind of think about.
Taking Care of Business even says Lake Meade is used for parts of Mexico, believe it or not, according to him.
Yeah, I mean, I know it runs like all the way through like New Mexico, I believe. Like,
well,
there's lakes there that are fed from it.
The Colorado River.
Continues on. Yeah.
Yep. True. Whew.
So the other topic I had was, all right, so all these liberals that have all these calls to action over the Roe v. Wade, where they're calling to burn it down and to fight and attack and to, you know, all these things where we hear from Trump, who said to peacefully and patriotically let your voices be heard at the Capitol.
Right.
We've heard for 2 years now. We've been under trial over these 2 years over a very simple phrase that obviously didn't entice anyone to do anything, but all of these Democrats now are just completely free to call people to action over this ruling, and, you know, to fight and burn down Supreme Court, and then nobody's like, it's not even a thought. Nobody even mentions it like as a negative.
Yeah, it is.
But with Trump, we'll hear about it for 2 years. We'll have people coming out with hearsay, obvious lies, and and people are just like, oh yeah, that's great. Yeah, let's hear more of that. I believe it, you know, because Trump's such a bad guy. Obviously, he did this stuff. But, you know, when the shoe's on the other foot, they actually are making these bold claims, like nobody says anything. Nobody, you know, oh, that's okay. It's because of abortion.
Right.
You know, women's rights are under attack.
It's ridiculous, man. These people are phony. They're selective in how they want to enforce laws. They only enforce it, and it's very corrupt, against the decent people. It's sick.
I just hope that there are people out there that start to realize, you know, at least I think that this midterm will be telling, but I also feel like they're trying to use this whole abortion thing to kind of divide that vote as best they can. Also, gun reform. Those seem to be two of those issues that can't be solved, you know, that'll never really be agreed upon. No one's going to, you know, come to the middle on those topics. So they use those topics to
divide, huh? That's true.
To divide that vote and to separate those.
Good point.
Those issues. They know they can't win on, you know, their politics, like their programs and stuff are terrible, and they know it. But they know that they can divide us with things like, oh, killing the baby, oh, women's rights, or guns are killing people.
Use people's selfishness and ego and infighting against them, against us, because people on both sides do get caught up in their ego battle, for sure. Appreciate it, Bobby. Great call. Take care, man.
Yeah. Thanks, man. Have a good one.
You as well. Nice. Let me quickly get to Jim, not a first-time caller. Jim in New York on the line. How are you doing, Jim? What's up?
Hey there, what's doing?
Hey, chilling. Killing.
Hey, yeah. Everything that guy said was completely insane, by the way. Whoever your last caller was. Wow, what a nut. Oof.
Really? What was insane about it? I didn't find it to be insane. What was insane about it?
I think about Trump saying peacefully, because he said the word peacefully once, that somehow that he's completely absolved of everything that he's responsible for. Like he gets peacefully once, and that's it.
What's he responsible for?
Oh, well, I mean, we found out yesterday through the sworn testimony that Trump will never do.
Trump will never what?
There were weapons. Trump will never testify, and a woman testified yesterday in the hearing. Did you happen to watch it?
Yeah, that female. Yeah.
Yeah, that female.
That sworn liar.
Yeah. Anyway.
You believed her? You fell for it, Jim?
Oh, I totally believe her. Yeah, I mean, she
Really?
under penalty of perjury. Yeah. Well, how can you think Trump won't do this?
Why should Trump testify to a corrupt committee, the phony committee that clearly has it out for him?
Well, how is it? How understand how it's phony? How does that make sense? Well, we're getting off topic, by the way, but I'll indulge you for a second. How is it phony?
Sure. They're Democrats, which I call them demon rats, and they're anti-Trump rhinos. Liz Cheney, Adam Kinzinger. Adam Kinzinger pretends like he's against white supremacy in the Republican Party. So, yeah, they're phonies.
Well, they're Republicans, right? Are they not Republicans?
No, they're rhinos.
Okay, what's the first letter of R?
Republican in name only.
Yeah. Okay, so Republican, right?
You think that's a point? You think that makes them? You think that makes them honest? Because they're Republican?
Committee, yeah, it's a bipartisan committee.
Bipartisan doesn't mean anything good. Bipartisan usually means evil.
Man, that doesn't make any sense. Anyway.
It makes a lot of sense.
Anyway,
think about the bipartisan support for the mess in Ukraine. Bipartisan tends to mean evil.
Well, whatever. All right, so
okay.
On January 6th, Trump, he's so obsessed with looking like a big, strong man that everybody loves him. So he was apparently very upset that the crowd wasn't as big as he wanted it to be. But there were
the crowd was plenty big. What are you talking about?
Nah, it didn't look very big.
Oh no, it was big. It was huge.
Wanted to come in. There are people that wanted to come in with weapons, and of course they couldn't get in with weapons because, it's a gun-free zone, So it's the president's there, can't have guns there. So they have these magnetometers, these devices that detect weapons. And when Trump was told this, he said, "I don't care. Get rid of the magnetometer." So he knew his own lunatic, sick, deranged supporters had weapons and didn't give a shit.
Hey, keep it clean. Keep it clean, Jim.
It didn't give a damn.
That's not clean. But I appreciate your effort. I appreciate your effort. But anyway, got your point.
Yeah, gotcha. So Trump knew there were weapons there. And for some reason you guys are going to keep saying, there were no weapons, there were no weapons. We know there were weapons. We know Trump knew that there were weapons.
How many weapons did they seize from the Trump supporters who allegedly entered the Capitol building?
173.
173 guns.
Yep.
Guns?
Yep.
Guns? From Trump supporters? No, we're talking about like guns.
Wait, are there other non-gun weapons? Do non-gun weapons exist in the world?
Yes, non-gun weapons exist in the world.
Okay. So why do you want to limit it to just guns?
I'm just curious because this was supposed to be this armed insurrection. Not one person was stabbed that I know of. Not one person was shot by any Trump supporter. Not one cop was killed.
Well, there were like 140 of them were like brutally assaulted. I know.
Brutally assaulted. Brutally assaulted.
Throws a bottle of water. When Antifa throws a bottle of water at the
brutally assaulted.
It's all the rage on Fox News, but
brutally assaulted.
Yeah, they were beaten up with
brutally assaulted.
Flagpoles and they had their eyes gouged
down. Flagpoles. Yeah. I know that there were some assaults. There were some assaults. I don't know if 140 were brutally assaulted, man.
That was all BLM. That was all BLM anyway, right? Well, that was Trump supporters. Trump supporters never be violent.
You believe it was Black Lives Matter who did that?
No, but I watch a lot of right-wing media, and that seems to be what they think.
Oh, no, I didn't. I never said that.
Anyway,
hey, you've called my show before, right? Have you?
Oh yeah, a couple of times. You've made fun of me for being gay, which I find interesting regarding,
I don't tend to make fun of people for being messed up. So I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah, well, have you seen I watched the documentary over the weekend called Amazing Disgrace.
Goodbye. Gossiper. What a loser. This is the type of people that the gossips are on the side of. Snake. Yep. But thanks for your call, Jim. Thin ice, buddy. Very thin ice. We ban gossips here, so you're on very thin ice. Should I just go ahead and ban them? And let's get to some super chats, guys. Got some super chats from Lord Bibby42 on streamlabs.com/The Hake Report. Shout out to the Facebook crew, my D-livers, and the YouTube snake pit. Indeed. Good to see you back, Hakey Hake. Well, thank you, Lord Bibby42. I appreciate it. Yes, it is. The Snake Pit. Star Sion says, stop hanging out with the illegal aliens in California. Hank, white boy, you'll be catching all type of viruses. Yeah, I know. Those illegals, you got to watch out. I haven't really hung out with too many illegals, although I did go to the what was it called? Not a wake, the vigil, candlelight vigil over in El Monte, California. There may have been some illegals there. For my friend, you know, the Michael Paredes who got shot and killed, the cop, the 22-year police veteran. You should ban him. He's not calling with anything factual ever. Wasted airtime. John WX25 says, Jim is a typical lib germ, a perfect candidate for monkeypox. Yeah. Why are you gay? You are not that. Is this guy on meth? Why is he talking so fast? There was a super chat from Asmodor. James, did you party too hard celebrating Roe being overturned and hurt your back dancing? I have not hurt my back at this point, fortunately, although I didn't get out much yesterday or the day before. Got too much sun 2 days ago and the day before that, and complicated my illness like that. What a mess. The burger courts, says Brandon M., were extremely politicized. Clarence Thomas is just correcting those mistakes from 40 years later. Yeah, honestly, like close to 50 years later. Yes, indeed, Brandon M. It is not a Christian thing. It's unchristian to be for killing babies. It really is. It's not Christian. It just isn't. And I don't get how Christians, you know, these phony liberal Christians, pretend this killing the babies is fine. Did you hurt your back? No, I have in the past, but so far, I'm okay on that. Pit stains? Nope, sorry. Okay. All right, so let me get back to this, these abortion headlines, because I want to show off a few of these pictures here. Silly. Let's see. Abortion. This Green Day guy said, F America, I'm effing renouncing my citizenship. This guy who has called himself not morally straight in the past. He literally called himself that. He's not a Christian, by the way. I found out. I've heard, anyway, that he's not a Christian. That's Green Day front male Billie, with an I-E, Billie Joe Armstrong. More like arm weak. Look at him. He's like older than, I want to say he's like in his 50s almost. If he's not already in his 50s. I mean, he's doing okay, I guess. Fix your hair though, man. But anyway, he's renouncing his citizenship. I'm not kidding. Is what he said, supposedly. You know, this is after the, you know, they're that poser band. Yeah, maybe their old stuff was better. You know, he's all mad because of Roe v. Wade getting overturned. What a simp. What a kiss up to the females. Yeah, he is 50. 5-0. I know that because, I figure that because, like, I was a freshman in high school, and I remember, for some reason, I connect Green Day to the Super Bowl at some point, maybe. Did they play in the Super Bowl? They're this pop-punk band, maybe. And there's one song, I hope you had the time of your life. What a nice song. I like that song. I like it. Call me a sucker for Red Hot Chili Peppers type music. Or what's that band that used to be sort of metal, and then they turned all like kissing up to the girls and simp, but very catchy pop guitar music. Man, I'm blanking on it. Ding 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 ding. Yeah, it's not helping. Man, I'm blanking on it. You guys will know someday when my life has passed me by. And I wonder why you were always there for me. Yeah, Sugar Ray. Because it has the DJ stuff in it. So good. Oh my gosh. But I'm a sucker for that stuff. I was censored. I mean, I was not censored. I was sheltered. And no, I'm not neither proud nor, it's just fun. Okay? Anyway. That guy's probably a simp too. Yeah, Sugar Ray, they used to be sort of like metal. But, you know, yeah. Anyway, I like the hits. Yeah, Nick is all chuckling. So, good riddance to Bad Rubbish. He's the same guy who came out with that album, and it was critically acclaimed, supposedly. American Idiot. Oh, yeah, so original. It's all like, meanwhile, heavily popular during this time when he came out with the American Idiot thing. Extremely popular that you go up against Bush, George W. Bush, and call him like Hitler or whatever, and be against the war. And for that reason, I was kind of for the war, just being kind of a sucker. Yeah, I was a Republican NPC, I guess you could say. But these people, that was when I noticed that it's very easy and popular and unoriginal to hate the beautiful South, the beautiful Southerners. I have this beautiful rebel flag here. Shout out to the beautiful South. We love you here on this show. We do. If we love anybody, we love the beautiful South. George W. Bush, maybe Bush the daddy, may have been terrible. Maybe to this day, those who survive, or the one who survives. Yeah, I voted for Bush Cheney too, twice. Yeah, but it turns out none of them were for what's right. I don't think they even voted for Trump. Traitors. So maybe they were right about him. Confidence in this is another headline from Yahoo News. Confidence in the Supreme Court collapses as just 33% of Americans agree with the decision to overturn Roe v. Wade, a new poll shows. A third. 33% is a third. That's the remnant. Right? The remnant. Don't they call... Hake thinks Sugar Ray was metal. No, I'm talking about before that, they were a little bit, at least wannabe metal. It was harder anyway. I'm not thinking that they were that metal. Guys. Remember, I liked extol. Swedish or Norwegian, black metal, death metal, thrash metal, whatever they were. Christian band. Extol. Burial. Great album. Anyway, confidence in the Supreme... show this headline. Confidence in the Supreme Court collapses after abortion, right? 33% of Americans agree with the decision to overturn Roe v. Wade, a new poll shows. And it's these two females, one of them hugging the other, supposedly. And I don't know if this has anything to do with if she's just emotionally reacting or if she's, like, suffering from heat exhaustion in Washington, D.C. Is it muggy in D.C.? Hot and humid? But, you know, it is not up for a vote. Baby killing is not up for a vote. It's just not. So you ladies, don't wear your pretty little heads. It's time to be responsible. Okay? Here's another woman victimhood thing. Abortion among incarcerated women. Incarcerated women need a place in your Roe outrage. Most women in prison have already been living in a post-Roe world, meaning they don't get to kill their babies in the womb as easily. Well, good. I remember hearing a story from I think it was either the Obama administration or the ACLU that tried to force, or maybe successfully forced, the Trump administration, border agents, to help an illegal alien young lady, and I use the term loosely, to kill her baby. Oh, she comes across the border. You have to serve me an abortion. And the stupid evil, and kids, I know I'm saying stupid a lot, ACLU, Un-American so-called Civil Liberties Union, I think it was the ACLU, sued in support of forcing our money, supposed money that whatever we have, the federal government, to pay for this woman's baby killing. And they're paying for sex fake reassignment surgeries in prisons, in the military, and probably among the border people. Did you know that there are transgender illegals? So-called transgender. Anyway, I saw this last little bit. Oh, no. I have two last little bits. I saw this from Milahan Philosopher's Corner YouTube channel. She shared this article, and this was a disgrace she felt, but she shared it, so I'm giving her credit. Okay, so don't go after her. She's a decent person, I think. But anyway, abortion involves killing, according to, this is from thenation.com. The Nation, far left, enemies of America, The Nation. Reproductive rights is the section. Bioethics. Okay, yes, bioethics. Reproductive rights. Abortion involves killing, and that's okay. To be pro-choice is to be against forced life. By Sophie Lewis. They're pretending like are they pretending all pregnancy is by way of rape? Is that what they mean by forced life? And do like women who get legitimately raped actually get pregnant? Anyway, it's a June 22nd article by Sophie Lewis in The Nation. Sophie Lewis. I have not looked up this person. I wonder if she's black. Certainly her heart is evil, dark, so sick. This evil Sophie Lewis woman, purportedly in this The Nation article, screenshots shared by Milahan Philosopher's Corner over there on YouTube. She underlined these phrases talking about the baby gestating and all of its shockingly grisly biology. A hyper-invasive placenta puts the gestator at risk of lethal hemorrhage. Hyper-invasive placenta. The placenta is the placenta not, oh man. Can you go to screenshot number 2? There it is. Yeah. Isn't the placenta the way by which the baby gets fed? The placenta connects to the belly button. I mean, when you cut off the placenta, it's the belly button. Go ahead and ban that person. Let me open up my Twitch. Did you know that Hake is on Twitch? There's some vulgar stuff going on. Twitch.tv/The Hake Report. You're too vulgar, man. I keep getting timed out. Okay, no, you're banned then. You won't get timed out anymore. You're banned, you sicko. Okay. So people who gossip get blocked. Okay? So you're welcome. I don't care if there's just one viewer over there on Twitch. Shout out to Twitch. Yeah, the umbilical cord, I think, Hake. What's the difference between the umbilical cord and the placenta? I don't know. Yeah, where's my Facebook experts? I don't know anything about anything. But anyway, hyperinvasive placenta puts the gestator at risk. Gestator being the woman. The controversial part is the key to correlative viewing gestating as labor is that forcing someone to gestate against their will is forced labor. Nobody forced you to have sex. You put the process in motion. You sicko. Making fetuses killable. The distinction between making fetuses killable and making it easy and stigma-free for people to take the decision to kill a fetus is significant. What in the world? Sacrificing its life to a greater cause. The evil ego of the female. So sick. feticide. Pro-abortion feminists should be able to acknowledge without shame that yes, of course it is killing. It's a good thing we do. The world would sag under the weight of the forced life. Give me a break. If you're a decent mother, you're raising young people, you along with your husband, because you would be married if you were a decent woman. Raising a young child to be a contributor and someone who bringing decency and cleanliness into the world rather than dirtiness and filth and being a drag on society. It's a hard pill to swallow for a misogynist society, sentimentally attached to its ideology of patriarchal motherhood. Whatever. Anyway, that's that. Whole bunch of gobbledygook. Typical female, huh? Getting all intellectual. Last little thing before I go to break, guys. I looked up abortion in the United Kingdom. The UK, the once Great Britain, legally available through the Abortion Act of 1967 in so-called Great Britain and the Abortion in Northern Ireland regulations of, 2020? I don't know. Anyway, in England, Scotland, and Wales, abortion is permitted on the grounds of risk to life of the pregnant woman. I guess that's reasonable, right? Supposedly. Preventing grave permanent injury to her physical or mental health, mental health being an imaginary issue. Because it starts in your imagination and you psych yourself out and go crazy, and then you really do legitimately go mental. So you can't blame that on the baby. Blame that on your your spiritual weakness, not on the baby. You'll do better with the baby. Risk of injury to the physical or mental health of the pregnant woman or any existing children of her family, up to a term limit of 24 weeks of gestation, or substantial risk that if the child were born, he or she would suffer such physical or mental abnormalities as to be seriously handicapped. But anyway, the third ground, the risk of injury to the physical and so-called mental health of the pregnant woman or any existing children of her family, that third ground for abortion is interpreted very liberally with regards to so-called mental health to create a de facto state of abortion on demand, meaning the selfishness of the woman. And nearly all abortions, 98% in 2019 and 2020, are performed to protect the woman's so-called mental health. But yet she goes, people joining into the chat just to gossip, and I block them right away. Nice. Indeed. Congrats, new mods. But anyway, so yes, the selfishness is happening in, my mental health. I'll go mentally ill if I am not allowed to kill my baby. And then sure enough, you go mentally ill. You're mentally ill anyway. Dumb women. Sorry, kids. And speaking of sorry, kids, it's time for some music. We're past the top of the hour, guys. Have you missed this? You know what? Honestly, maybe this is why I got sick. This is the hidden cameras. Let's do the one that's track 9 there. I'm going to decline. You see that? Track 9 in there. Here it is. I disavow the lyrics. Don't listen to the lyrics. The song sounds nice. Okay? It does. It just does. But it's devilish. All music is the language of Satan, and this guy's definitely speaking the language of Satan. But pretend it's singing to Jesus or something. But just don't listen. All right, here it is. Enjoy. And I'll be right back for hour 2.
Not just be your ones of yesterday. All I want is to be in his movie and not just be old ones of yesterday.
All I want is to be in his movie and not just be old worms of yesteryear. All I want is to be under his covers and not simply be time from yesterday. All I want is to be in his movie and not just be old worms of yesteryear. All I want is to be under his covers and not simply be time from yesterday. Isn't this nice, guys? Isn't this nice? I think it's nice. Hake has an awful taste in music, says Albert. Kind of quiet, huh? Did you... Music is going, it's just kind of quiet. I don't know, if you hit lock talk or something? It's just quiet moment, partly. I hear the... It is playing still. I can still hear it. There it is. Yeah. Yeah. It's just a quiet part. And not just be frozen foreign edge. Oh, my longing to be there on the no. Disavow. Yes, Free Ross, don't listen to the lyrics, man. I disavow. I just puked, says Buster Goblin. Hey, you are adored. Don't say that word. Yes, Turd Ferguson. Shout out to the late, great guy who came up with that. Yes, it is. It is. It's not Christian music. Well, at least the sunset is nice. Sunset over the ocean. Over the ball Earth horizon. If it were not a ball Earth, there would be no horizon. Or it wouldn't be so straight like that. So crisp. This was one of the worst songs I've ever heard with Hake. Well, guys, Sugar Ray sounds different these days. Rather listen to Sugar Ray. Womb is just a tomb, says Jacob34. Can you play some Christian metal or something? Is this portion of a show a trap? Hake is quite the lyricist. It's called an ode to Harvey Weinstein. Yeah. Terrible stuff, huh? So evil. Not good. Anyway, guys, we are going to be covering in this hour, hopefully, the food shortage, the gas prices going out of control. The music is global homo. A Juneteenth story that's really infuriating, in my opinion, and an update on like the Title IX stuff. And you remember that invasion that's going on down at the border? It's still going on. And there was this crazy story of this Nazi guard who was sentenced and some J6 shenanigans, China virus hype. So I hope to get to all of that and your calls, guys. You can call in 888. Oh, I'm pointing to nothing. 888-775-3773. Yeah, I think but anyway, whatever. Perhaps it was a blessing that the beach was, Ozark Mike says, dang it, now that song is stuck in my head, that the beach was drowning it out a little bit. Yeah, the beach, the waves, all loud. when I make those Hake splash screens with the beach and all that stuff, I lower the volume to 1%. But it still gets boosted and kind of loud. Yeah. So that's why it's kind of drowning out the music a little bit. So let me finally get to clip 11. How about that, guys? Huh? Clip 11, anybody? This is, I saw this on TKR Official on Telegram. Follow JLP Talk on Telegram. Follow the Hake Report on Telegram. I don't post much, at least not at this point. JLP Talk, but I do look, I check it out. And JLP Talk is Jesse Lee Peterson's stuff. He shares Fallen State, church, biblical question very often, and some other things. But I saw this on TKR Official on Telegram. That's Asmodor's thing. He's had me on his show before. 2 or 3 times now. This is from TikTok. A couple of different TikTok users apparently shared this clip because it's kind of like one name superimposed over another. Jenny B, superimposed over something 42. But Asmodor wrote, the oil companies won't fill farmers' tanks now, gas tanks, gasoline, diesel specifically, because they estimate the price of diesel will be over $9 a gallon soon. You think food is expensive now? They can't even prepare properly. They're trying to prepare to manage, how the food shortage is supposed to be coming. And in some cases, it may already be here. Listen to this clip. It's a 55-second clip from a lady who is purportedly a farmer, and she says that she talked to another farmer, and for some reason, this sounds true to me. I could be mistaken, so you can take it with a grain of salt, but consider that it sounds reasonable. Here it is. Listen to this.
Hey guys, so while sitting at my son's baseball game today, I got talking to another farmer and I asked him, I was like, hey, what are you seeing on your side of things? Like, I've talked to everyone nearest to me, but what are you seeing? And he said, you know what? We called to try and get diesel for this fall to lock in a price, and they're not even letting us. There is zero way for them to get a tank to lock in a price so they're not hit as hard this fall. They told them absolutely not, because they're anticipating diesel prices being $9.50 up towards to $10 to $10.50 by this fall. That alone, guys, to fill the tractors and the equipment needed to get the product out of the field is going to be astronomically bad all the way around. So understand, people are like, oh, plan ahead. We're trying. They're not letting us.
Crazy, huh? That is wild. Food, Costin says, food, energy, water shortages, nothing suspicious. I know. And there has been reports, you guys have heard reports, I haven't really covered it, of, destruction of these different food factory plants and things like that. What's with the weird camera effects? Oh, yeah, I did that. Because she did it, TikTok is vertical. I like to have it zoom in on her face and then show her face around it. Lady farmer? Yeah, right, this is bogus speech. She just wants attention. Women do like to scaremonger and fearmonger, both conservatives and liberals. They do like to worry. They are worry warts. But, it is good. It's good to be prepared, Don't rely on a meal-to-meal going to McDonald's or whatever. Plus, that's not good for you anyway. I learned. Depending on the kind of farming, women can be farmers. Yeah, of course. And, maybe she's a wife of a farmer, and she helps with the farm. You know, there's even supposedly black farmers. What a mess, huh? Not anything to worry about, but definitely prepare in ways that you can. Have a few weeks of food. They say have like 9 weeks or 60 days or something, a couple months worth of food so you can manage and not have to venture out of the house. I don't know. I don't know what the future holds, but they do say to be decent and ready and prepared. Be prepared. That's my motto. No, that's the Boy Scouts motto. Anyway, not a lot to say about it. I don't have a lot to say about it, but thanks, Sleepy Joe Biden. We would not be in like these emergencies had we had a man running the show. Or men running the show locally, statewide, nationwide. Trump certainly helped rather than hurt in terms of the economy, I think. Correct me if I'm wrong. And then local non-men or non-male-minded thinkers, men-minded thinkers, godly-minded, logical-minded thinkers, the overreacting, micromanaging, overprotective, helicopter parent, fake environmentalist, or environmentalist is fake. They're not actually for the environment, or they would be for men. They have run us into the ground, letting the homeless go out of control, the shutdowns to destroy the businesses, BLM to destroy businesses, Black Lives Matter, scum of the earth, and messing up the supply chains, overreacting to Russia going into Ukraine. So, fear. That's what women and female-minded liberal males thrive on. Fear. They actually enjoy you panicking. And so don't fall into panic over that. I'm just saying, you know. Anyway, some people did something. Here's an infuriating story. You feel like getting your emotions all mad about this. This is from also from TKR Official on Telegram. I saw this. I was annoyed, let's say. The Juneteenth lynch mob. Let's see if I can find this. This is from over a week ago, honestly. This report. It's ridiculous. NPR covered it. Far left enemies of America, NPR. Two insurance companies end their relationship with this Maine insurance agency. Maine, beautiful area, I hear. I've never been that I know of. After a racist Juneteenth sign. What is this racist Juneteenth sign? This racist Juneteenth sign says, and calling it racist is not objective journalism. It's pandering. If racism exists, Juneteenth is racist. Right? Because Juneteenth is pandering to the anger of the blacks. Pretending, oh, yeah, you need your separate holiday. Because a few blacks didn't know that they were free. As JLP says. This racist Juneteenth sign says Juneteenth. It's clearly posted in the on a 8.5 by 11 sheet of paper. And it reads this. Juneteenth, it's whatever. We're closed. Enjoy your fried chicken and collard greens. Nice. Nice. Kind of a snarky, not completely like professional. Understandable mess. Understandable annoyance The person who posted this, probably annoyed. Do not be annoyed. You do things that are a touch on the foolish side. You might call it foolish, but it's true. Because Juneteenth, it is whatever. And now this insurance company, because they have to work with the feds and all kinds of stuff. It's a federal so-called holiday. Juneteenth, when the blacks in Galveston, Texas, found out from the occupying authorities from the north, the Yankees, I guess, that they were no longer slaves. They're free. And so now Sleepy Joe last year declared it to be a national holiday because he is nothing but a kiss-up to the evil of the blacks and the evil of the women and the evil of everything. He's a kiss-up to evil. That's Sleepy Joe. Look at this beautiful store, brick front property insurance, Reed Agency. Look at this storefront insurance office in Maine. Where was this? Millinocket, Maine. Probably a predominantly white area, by the way. But they're forced to be closed. Paying rent in beautiful, or maybe they own it, who knows? Millinocket, Maine. But no, residents, supposed residents, the neighbors are outraged over this. Over this sign that says, Juneteenth, it's whatever, enjoy your fried chicken and collard greens. And we all know blacks like fried chicken and collard greens. But that's somehow supposed to be racist. What, they don't like fried chicken and collard greens? You're not allowed to say that? Please. It's clearly for the blacks. This holiday is for the blacks. Kissing up to the blacks. Duh. But, you're saying something that's accurate. Oh, yeah, stereotypical. How can greens be collared? But, of course, progressive, far-left enemies of America, Progressive Insurance, and Allstate, you're in good hands, Allstate, with that black president guy from the TV show 24. Remember that guy? You're in good hands with Allstate. Allstate, also far-left enemies of America, commie capitalist corporations, terminating their relationship with this local agency, according to representatives of the insurance companies. The sign stated, enjoy your fried chicken and collard greens, taped to the front of Harry E. Reid, R-E-E-D, not to be confused with the commie Democrat with the black eye from Nevada. Not that Harry Reid, not the evil one. I don't know about this Harry Reid. The small town sits about 3 hours outside Portland, Maine, not to be confused with Portland, Oregon. It's opposite side of the country. And some 50 miles away from the U.S.-Canada border. In other words, very white area, I think, because what blacks would want to live up there where it gets that cold? Right? Ridiculous. An image of the racist sign. See, NPR, not objective journalism. Jonathan Franklin, a black, wrote this article. A joke of a person. Looks like a clown with his big old afro. It's not that big, but anyway. The insurance agency has faced heavy criticism online, people leaving one-star reviews on Google and Yelp. False reviews, dishonest people, the lynch mob. What do you expect? One-star reviews. I've never used your services, but I'm going to leave you 1 star. Progressive, is this one review written on Yelp says, Progressive, is this really a company you want representing you? Or is Progressive a company that believes in racism? No, yeah, they are a company that believes in racism. Anti-whiteness, right? Of course, racism doesn't exist, but these people are just evil. Progressive's spokesperson, meaning he's certainly not a man, spokesmale Jeff Seibel, wrote in an email the company is aware of and appalled by the sign, terminating their relationship. At Progressive, diversity, equity, and inclusion, DEI, are fundamental to our core values. You have no values. You're for evil. Your values are hate white people, destroy America, hate men, and be for the commie capitalist destruction of America. That's what you're for. Seibel, probably not a Christian, by the way. The sign is a direct violation of that commitment. We're committed to creating an environment where our people feel welcomed, as in not Christians, not white people, not men, not sensible people. Sensible people are not falling for Juneteenth. Give me a break. Black Kiss Up Day. As if we need another one. We already have MLK Day. The sign is in direct violation of the commitment and doesn't align with our company's core value and code of conduct. Millinocket resident Allura Stillwagon originally posted this image on Facebook, purportedly, with a caption reading, "The racism in Millinocket is real." And look at that. The racism is real. Talk about a busybody. I shared this, and this woman is a busybody. You're a racist, dumb woman. Sorry, kids. I mean, I'm not sorry, you know, that I'm, you know, you understand me. Stillwagon, this Allura, A-L-U-R-A, Stillwagon, all one word, who first heard about the sign from her mother, Lisa Groely, says she had to do a double take when seeing the image of it. I had to read it more than once because I thought it was something my mom saw on Facebook. She had seen it in a business in town. And I was immediately disgusted. People have this idea that Maine isn't very racist, and it is very liberal. It is. But up north, it's not like that at all. Up north, the people are sensible, is what she's saying, is what she's really saying. The people are sensible. They don't fall for this phony Juneteenth holiday. Some guy, Adam Wallace, shared this on Twitter. Another he/him dad from Maine. Simp, perhaps not a Christian. Hey, Allstate, isn't the Harry Reid Insurance Agency in Millinocket, Maine, an Allstate broker? Y'all support this? Stupid lynch mob, huh? Stupid, sick people. I keep on saying stupid, kids. Do as I say, not as I do. No, oh, well, don't. If you do what I say, you start repeating stupid all the time. Oh, man. Let me calm down. Not get so angry about this. Anger is of the devil, says Lady Seasal. Yeah, true. Oh, man. Steve Golib, G-O-L-I-E-B, perhaps not a Christian, chair of Millinocket Town Council, released a statement Tuesday regarding the incident. It is deeply saddening, disgraceful, unacceptable for any reason, business or organization, any person, business, or organization to attempt to make light of Juneteenth and what it represents for millions of slaves and their living descendants. Golib said in his statement, there is no place in the town of Millinocket for such blatant disregard of human decency. A disregard of human decency is the overreaction to just a nothing little statement that doesn't kiss up. I bet you that not one black person even saw that sign, had you not taken a photo of it. And then a black person who saw it would be like, yeah, I agree. It's whatever. I'm going to go enjoy my collard greens and stuff. I wish I could work, a sensible black would say. Groely, the mother, lives in Millinocket, says when her friend told her about the sign displayed outside the business, she was speechless, thinking it must have been a joke. I'm hoping that people will wake up and realize that this is not okay. Stupid, evil, busybody females, right? Don't worry your pretty little heads about this mess. Ladies, they need to realize there was a lot of suffering and that this holiday is warranted and it's needed, she said in an interview with NPR. Allstate terminating their contract with this independent agent. Our commitment to inclusive diversity and equity is non-negotiable, and we will take action when individuals violate our state of conduct. So in other words, you're not inclusive of the sensible people who know that this is a stupid fake holiday. State of Maine celebrated Juneteenth as an official holiday for the first time on Monday. Governor Janet Mills, a female governor? See, they are a liberal area. I mean, probably overrun by their cities. Mills signed a proclamation for Juneteenth. This is what NPR says. This is what NPR's Jonathan Franklin, who's black, by the way, writes. Juneteenth is an annual commemoration celebrated on June 19th that marks the United States' second Independence Day. What? It's not the second Independence Day. In fact, Juneteenth signifies in part, the end of the Civil War, kind of. The Civil War was part of the destruction of America. 600,000 Americans died so that the South was not allowed to secede, which was their rightful constitutional choice. You have pics of this Janet Mills female. This is the governor of Maine. Look at this governor of Maine. I know I'm spending. Oh gosh, look at that. It's like I don't know. She's not mild. Is she mildly attractive? I don't know. No, I wouldn't say so. I mean, it's nice that she's smiling, but that's an evil woman. Is she a Democrat? Or is she a rhino Republican? Don't know. I don't know offhand. But we're looking at a picture of this blonde lady, probably dyed hair, is my guess, But anyway, I don't know if that's a Christian face or not. Yikes. Cute hairstyle, I guess. On this day, 1865, Major General Gordon Granger, who had fought for the Union, arrived in Galveston, Texas with nearly 2,000 troops to announce that the more than 250,000 enslaved black people in the state of Tejas, Texas, were finally free. She looks like a rat, says Luca. Whoa, ease up, buddy. Phony, commie capitalism, and women and female-minded, busybody liberal males. So sick. Am I right? Am I not right? Am I right? Yeah? So? Yeah? So? Let me get to Ken, a first-time caller in Florida. Ken, how are you doing? What's up? Are you there?
All is well, James.
Nice. Go ahead.
I was just calling to see if you wanted to respond to the allegation.
No, man. Oh, thank you. So this snake is using very subversive tactics. Calls in purportedly with about Juneteenth. Juneteenth is the topic that this woman, female-minded male, says. And says, I feel like talking about gossip. I feel like being a woman today. You're banned. You're banned. First time caller, banned. Not morally straight, that call. Let me get to Shane, my caller from Newfoundland, Canada. Shane, how are you doing?
All is well, Hake. How are you?
All is well as well. Thank you, man.
So I just listening here about the Juneteenth poster or whatever, and everybody flipping out.
Yeah.
What do these people get? Like, have you ever watched Star Trek: Next Generation?
Yeah, that was the 80s and 90s TV show, right? Star Trek: The Next Generation? Yeah.
Yeah, you remember the Borg from that? It's just like, they say, we are the Borg. You will be assimilated. Your uniqueness will be added to our collective. Resistance is futile. That's how these people sound.
Oh, yeah, I know. That is how they act. So true.
Yeah, you're not allowed to do anything or say anything that goes outside the collective, or else they just zap you down and try to assimilate you by making you weak.
Right.
Making you submit.
Yep. Very true, man.
It's just like, you will submit or be destroyed. And these people was just, it's crazy about it. Like that sign you posted that Buddy had up, what was an insurance salesman or something, or an insurance office?
Yeah, it was at an insurance office, a local insurance office in beautiful upstate Maine, if there is such a thing.
It's so crazy. How is saying go eat fried chicken and collard greens racist?
It's not. It's just that they're saying they're just not into celebrating Juneteenth, and that's considered, you're not going to worship black people like we are, then you're not for diversity, equity, and inclusion. And that's right, we're not, because those are false values. So it's just anti-white. They hate whites. They hate sensible people.
Oh yeah, well, it's a death cult. Like diversity, equity, inclusion. Just they got the words rearranged a little bit so it doesn't actually say what they mean, which is die.
Yeah. Yep.
Right. It's a death cult. You either submit or you die.
Yep. Very true, man. They are for death. They're for the death of these black out of control people who get themselves killed at the hands of police. And then everybody overreacts and does Black Lives Matter riots around the country.
Yeah.
They're for the death of those people because they're not for the blacks becoming calming down and behaving around the cops. No, they're for them going out of control. And they're for the babies being killed in the womb. They're for death all around. They're for the radical homosexual stuff. The radical homosexual stuff, that doesn't produce life. That produces death. They're not for
producing anything. It's like what was it Tolkien said, evil can never create, only destroy and corrupt, is it?
Yeah. That is so true. Tolkien said that? Smart man.
Yeah. Oh yeah, man, like Lord of the Rings and everything, that's based on Christianity and stuff like that.
I have heard that.
Fella. Yeah. He converted the guy who I'm not a Catholic or anything now, but Tolkien was.
Okay.
He converted the guy that wrote that Narnia book series or whatever. He converted him to Catholicism just through letters.
Really? So J.R.R. Tolkien, a contemporary of C.S. Lewis, converted C.S. Lewis to be a Catholic, huh? Was C.S. Lewis an atheist, or was he a normal Christian and then he became Catholic?
I think he was just Protestant or something. They're all English, right? So,
right, but there are a lot of people who are not serious about their Christianity and they become serious. Whether they turn Catholic or a real normal Christian or whatever. Well, good for him, I guess.
Those people, though, usually they go off the deep end, though. They do it for the ego. They're just like, I want the community to be a part of. They don't care about anything else.
Oh, oftentimes that's true, yeah. C.S. Lewis is quite respected, and he did say some deep things. I don't know what kind of a man he really was, but Tolkien and C.S. Lewis, they have some measure of respect from me, that's for sure.
Oh, definitely. I don't know anything about C.S. Lewis. I never read or watched Narnia or any of that, but I knew Lord of the Rings, and I'm after getting into a little bit of the history of it. That's
nice.
what I'm all about, is history.
That's
cool. You can probably tell that from the call I had in earlier today with Jesse. I think it was you who answered.
That is cool, man. Yeah, it was cool hearing you on the JLP show.
Yeah, like the one of the Sykes business. And what you call it, the plot of land that they gave away, that the government gave away in New York or whatever.
Uh-huh.
That couple, did you see that woman? She looked like a toad or something like that. She looked like her tongue was about to go up and re-moisturize one of her eyes.
That was in California. That was Bruce's Beach over in right down here in Manhattan Beach, somewhere around this way. I'm pointing.
Okay, see, that's
Manhattan
what
Beach,
got me confused.
California.
That's what got me confused. Manhattan Beach, but in California. I hear it's Manhattan. I think it's New York.
Right. Yeah. Wow. Yeah. The giving back the eminent domain. Are they going to give back all the eminent domain that they took away from all these different normal, decent white Americans too?
Yeah,
it was eminent domain. How are you going to cry racism? Unless it was racially motivated, in which case they had the right. I mean,
anyway. It's all crazy about this whole racist stuff.
Yeah. It is.
Yeah.
Kissing up.
Like the first time I saw a black person was when I was on vacation up in Toronto as a kid. I didn't even know black people were real. I was only like 6 or 7, but I just looked at it. I was used to seeing them on TV.
Okay. Funny.
Right, but anyway, I'll let you go.
All right, appreciate it. Shane, good to hear from you, man. Take care.
Take care, Hake.
All right. Let me show you, speaking of kissing up, this Title IX thing. This is in like the main folder. Just a little headline. Quick couple of headlines, honestly. Title IX and also the invasion. they're not just kissing up to the blacks. This, let's see, Title IX. The Biden administration proposes a revamp of the Trump-era Title IX rules on campus sexual assault, kissing up to the women, and expanded protections for so-called transgender students. What's the name of this guy who's the... Is that the education secretary? Secretary. No, that's not him. Who? Department of... I don't know. What's the guy? What is this guy? I'm blanking on his name. Did you find the headline?
This one?
Yeah, that guy. Who's that guy? I'm blanking on who that is. Anyway. It's not Miguel Cardona. No, I don't think so. Anyway. What a mess. So sick. Ridiculous. Title IX is that thing where they outlawed discrimination based on so-called gender or sex. And Obama took that to mean we get to force you guys to let the transgenders go into the wrong locker rooms and bathrooms. And honestly, Title IX should never have come into place. Title IX was the women's, letting the women into the education, anti-discrimination laws for females. No, yeah, but I'm not thinking about Miguel Cardona. It's not the education secretary, apparently. I don't think. Let me see.
Yes.
Miguel? He really looks like that?
This guy?
That's him?
This guy's Miguel Cardona.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, looking at
Oh, okay, yeah, you're right. It is Miguel Cardona. Makes me want to spit, this simp. Puerto Rican guy. Not a normal American. Shout out to the Puerto Ricans. Puerto Rico, Trump said. Yeah, there was this picture of this black. When I search education sec, it says Miguel Cardona, and then it shows a picture of a black on the, a squinty-eyed black, on the Google, which is evil. Don't use Google, guys. Start page with the Brave browser or something like that. Anyway. Yeah, phoniness. Another little quick headline on the invasion. You know, the ongoing invasion. You guys heard about this. 46 suspected migrants, illegals, dead in a tractor trailer in San Antonio, Texas. Another 16, mostly underage minors, right? 16-year-old or younger, whatever, 18 and under, taken to hospitals, suffering from heat exhaustion. A city worker heard like help or something like that. And so investigated in this semi-truck, inside of this semi-truck, not refrigerated, no water, no nothing. Bunch of them killed, dead. Hope it was worth it. Obviously, it was not worth it. Illegals. Not good. Invasion. Not good. And illegals in Biden shirts. Many you'll see very frequently. Very frequently. Just kissing up, and they're allowing the illegals in. They're allowing them to cross illegally. They're letting them come in and plead asylum, although these people apparently were trying to sneak in and not even have to plead asylum, right? And as a sacrifice, says John Zimmer, evil. I mean, this happens every so often. It's true. They let the old and sick die they leave them behind when they're leading a bunch of people marching through the desert, leave them there to die. There's phony evil do-gooders who will oftentimes leave water in the desert to hopefully aid and abet and help these people survive the dangerous and deadly journey through trying to sneak in. And there are NGOs, so-called, non-government organizations, who are trying to, bring in more and more people through these caravans to come up here, invade. Invaders. Just, and that's really just the tip of the iceberg, honestly. We just have a whole setup in favor of mostly just trash people from trash countries. To come up into America and make America more trashy. Some of them, a lot of them working. A lot of them want to work. But we don't need more workers. We don't need more foreign workers. We need Americans to make American babies. Get rid of the contraceptives. Get rid of the abortion. Get rid of the welfare where we're subsidizing people, paying them not to work. And get rid of minimum wage. Send the illegals back. Close our doors for these people. They'll be forced to stay there, and when you're forced to be responsible, meaning when you're not bailed out in your irresponsibility, you turn from a trash person into a making person. A making person, meaning a productive person. You start to do things for yourself. You overcome being a trash person. Clean your room, as trash people don't clean their rooms. Or I should say, trash people don't clean our rooms. Oh my gosh. Terrible. Yeah, no anchor, children. Shout out, Gotcha 6. Why don't you have kids yet? Asking me? You asking me, Ashley? Shout out to Ashley in the Facebook chat. Why don't you have kids yet? Because I haven't gotten married and done that. We need to not encourage people to be going to college and wasting their time, especially the females, because their time runs out quicker. According to the normal ways of things. But young men need to become men at a younger age, and young ladies need to be responsible too at a younger age, and not encouraged to live this consequence-free, sex out of wedlock, pornography, LGBT mess, just self-indulgent, using one another on self-indulgence. That is so wrong, you know? Anyway, oh man, okay, so I have a couple more stories, a few more stories to cover. Let's see if I can plow through this. This was infuriating too, guys, in my opinion. I don't know. I saw this on TKR Official, and I saw it too on a headline. This is so wrong. Show the Nazi. Nazi 1, RT. RT News shared this, I don't know where it was, maybe on Gab. 101-year-old former Nazi camp guard sentenced to 5 years in prison. 101-year-old former concentration camp guard Joseph, with an F, Schwitz. I don't know. I don't want to say that. I'm like inching closer to the cuss word. And I far be it from me to, I don't know this young man. I'm calling him a young man. I don't know this old, elderly, frail man with manly fingers, though. Look at those fingers. Old dude. 101 years old. Frail. Apparently maybe in a wheelchair. Like you see his knees popping up into the picture frame. Old dude. Working hands, though. Look at those hands. It's probably why he lasted to 101 years old so far and still going. But he was the oldest person, period, to face trial for Nazi war crimes. What war crime did he commit? I don't think they have any idea. He's been sentenced in Germany to 5 years in prison for being an accessory to the murder of 3,518 World War II prisoners. Prosecutors supposedly successfully proved he, quote, knowingly and willingly, unquote, participated in the atrocities at Sachsenhausen. I have no idea how to pronounce German. I'm American. Sachsenhausen camp that was liberated by Soviet soldiers, communists, after evading justice for almost 80 years. Investigators found his name in Moscow's state military records. Schotz claimed he did absolutely nothing wrong, telling the court, I don't know why I am purportedly, I assume he has said, I don't know why I'm here. I haven't read into the article much, but look at this old man. Pretty skinny now. I mean, his hands are still like, you can tell his hands were like working man, manly hands. Those fingers, man, those things are thick. And there he is on a walker, apparently, or using the, standing up. I love that style of sweater that he's wearing. Look at that sweater. With patches on it and stripes. And, you know, the lawyer or whoever's helping him is covering his face with this folder thing. And he covered his own face, too. In shame, or really in protection of himself, because he's being, in my opinion, falsely shamed. I mean, this is just, at that point, 101 years old, that's malice. That's revenge, in my opinion. That's how it seems like to me. I haven't seen the evidence against him, but it reminds me of the January 6th thing, which is totally drummed up, or the Charlottesville Unite the Right rally, which was totally drummed up, where the people who were doing stuff that they had the right to do or whatever, January 6th and January 6th, some of them got a little out of hand. Charlottesville, some of them did fight with Antifa, but what are you supposed to do? Not defend yourself? Cosby sweater, says Jacob36. Yeah. Based Bill Cosby. Innocent man, by the way. Like, this guy is, I have no idea what he's done or not done, but that's revenge. That's like the J6 committee going after Trump and anybody remotely in support of Trump, that anybody that they can. That's what that's vengeful spirit. It's not Christian. Who's going to go after the Soviets? The Soviets were no angels either, or the so-called allies. Nick says, and this is a moment to forgive. Instead, they just bring up the past and keep it going. Execute him if you all believe that he did war crimes. 5 years for a 101-year-old man. If he was just a guard, there's nothing he could have done, says Jacob34. To me, that's just, again, it's revenge, it's malice, it's like a religious thing. I've heard that a lot of the Jewish people who are not even serious about their religion, about following God, or what they think is following God, one of their, like, the most important thing about being Jewish to them is remembering the Holocaust, remembering bitterness. That's not a good thing. And all of this kissing up to that, it's not a good thing. They've become what they hate. That type of old, frail person was what I was told the Germans did to the Jews. And now the Jewish people and the Germany itself is turning around and doing it back to this old, innocent man. At that point, if you're that old, you're innocent. You made it that far. Congrats, right? If he were guilty, if he had a guilty conscience, I mean, guilty conscience people, sometimes they live a long time. Look at how old and decrepit George Soros is, and he keeps trucking. Or remember how old Ruth Bader Ginsburg was? Kept trucking. to me, it's these people are so vengeful they've become what they hate. I'm gonna have to play clips of the January 6th shenanigans after this, meaning like tomorrow or whatever, and the China virus hype and some other things, guys, because we're coming to the end of the hour, end of the show. But skip that last Hidden Cameras song. Just play a Nick. Just play a regular whatever YouTube audio library song or whatever, or John Parfitt if you like. Start playing it before, so that we end before 2 hours are up, so that we can maybe upload it on Gab. It's what I like to do. That's why I like to end on time, guys. But yeah, to me that's so wrong what they're doing to the veterans of the war. It's Kangaroo Court. They're not for actual justice. Anyway, guys, this has been the Hake Report. I do appreciate it. TheHakeReport.com. Getting better and better in terms of health-wise. Getting back in the saddle. Callers, I cannot get to you. Hopefully see you tomorrow. TheHakeReport.com. And again, I'm not sure if I'll be able to do the Bond Archive Sunday service premiere. Normally I have a couple of days to prepare it, but I was out sick the past couple of days, so may have to wait until next Wednesday. But do support the Bond YouTube channel so you can join into the live chat on Sundays and Wednesdays when we do have the Sunday service things with the live chat. Thank you guys, and take care.